Motivation. That's one of these strange things that you only ever think about when you lack it. In this video, you'll learn some basic ideas about when we're motivated and also some hints on how to deal with a lack of motivation. Motivation, from a psychological point of view, is an internal state or a condition that serves to activate or energize behavior and to give it direction. And we have to distinguish between motivation, that is the things you really want, and volition on the other side. That's the things you want, the things you do by willpower, by perseverance, by discipline. Volition is a bit like a muscle. You can train your volition. If you use it very often, your willpower gets stronger. But also, if you use it too much at one point, it can become fatigued. You just don't have the energy anymore to have enough willpower to strain it enough to get something done. We have a look at motivation, at the things you really want. There are several triggers that can trigger your motivation. Either it's intrinsic triggers like internal reward, satisfaction, pleasure, or it's extrinsic. So that means someone else gives you money, you get fame, you get a grade by someone else, so someone says whether it was good or not. This is external factors. However, these external factors trigger something inside you and then make you want to achieve something, strive for your goal. So intrinsic and extrinsic factors both can help you to get motivated, but the motivation is inside yourself. So now the question is, when are we motivated? There's one definition of motivation that just states motivation means follow your motives. And your motives might be explicit motives, that it's all the rational things you can think of, the conscious intentions. There's implicit motives, that's the emotional, often unconscious contribution to motivation. A lot of these things you realize, your emotion, but there's always a lot of your emotions that you realize only afterwards or don't realize at all. However, these emotions will drive your decisions. And the third factor is called subjective abilities. That means there's things where you have the feeling that you have the skills, that you have enough knowledge, that you have enough experience, or also where you have the feeling that you could learn this stuff. It's the perceived skills. That means subjective to yourself. It doesn't matter whether you really can do it or not. You might be very well motivated if you just overestimate yourself, or you might be unmotivated if you underestimate yourself. So if all of these three factors come together, like it is the right thing to do, it feels good, and also you believe that you can do it, then you're in the optimal place of motivation. If these factors come together, it's very unlikely that you're still unmotivated. However, what happens if one of those factors is missing? Let's take that case first. It feels good, I can do it, I believe I can do it, but it's not the right thing to do. Like, you want to lose weight, then eating chocolate might be not the right thing to do. Or your boss gives you a task and you just don't see the point in it. You don't see what sense this task has. This is the region of either temptations or a lack of reason. If now it's the right thing to do, you can do it, but it does not feel good, then the technical term for this is called text declaration. I hate doing text declaration. Yes, I know it's important. It's the right thing to do. I need to do it. And I'm able to do it. I know I'm able to do it. I've done it before. But it's just not the thing I want to do. I think it's boring. So here you're in the region of mandatory tasks. If now it's the right thing, it feels good, but you cannot do it or you believe you cannot do it, like work overload. There's a lot of interesting tasks, but you just don't have enough time to do all of them. Or imagine you like riddles and now you do this escape room, but this one just feels impossible to solve. And you will lack motivation because you get a feeling of being overwhelmed. So how to deal with these lack of motivating factors? Let's look at the last part first, feeling of being overwhelmed. Well, if it is the case that you just have too much work, if there is work overload, a good way is to reduce workload, to clarify your goals, to set priorities, and then to remove some of the less important tasks, or to improve your time management, to reduce your stress level. The second thing is changing your attitude. If you have the feeling I can't do it, just adding one tiny word changes a lot. I can't do it yet. And this is called a growth mindset. The attitude of, okay, I can learn it. I can achieve it if I only activate the right resources for it. And that's the next point. You can harness additional resources. There's a difficult task. Now think of what other resources are unused. Can I ask someone for help? If I can't do it alone, get help. Or can I read the things somewhere? Can I learn it from a book, from an internet YouTube video? Can I use additional resources to get the thing done? That's the question here. Now, if you look at those mandatory tasks, there is one strategy that's called cognitive reappraisal or reframing. Imagine you know how to talk, and imagine you know what to talk about, but you're afraid of public speaking. Fear of public speaking is one of the greatest fears if you ask people. Now, if you change the framing, if you look at it differently, you can, for example, say yourself, okay, I am afraid. I accept that I'm afraid. It's okay to be afraid. And now I can show myself that I'm able to overcome this fear. If you really believe in this will change your attitude. Now think of a task where it's really boring. Well, maybe you can find some joy in it. But if that does not work, well, make a concerted effort with your willpower. Use your volition. Just get the task done somehow. Sometimes it helps to cut it down into smaller pieces and then make an effort for every piece that's smaller than the effort for the whole piece. Let's have a look at the last part, the part of temptation and lack of reason. Imagine you have a task in your job and you just don't see the point in it. You don't know why you should do it. Why should I waste my time on this? Or you have a research project which you don't see that it leads to anything, or you're just not interested in it anymore. I think there's only two good ways to deal with these kind of things. Either you find a good reason, a reason that's good for yourself, a reason that makes you believe in you're doing the right thing, or you stop doing it. If you don't find a good reason, stop doing it. If no one in your company can explain why the task is important, why not try to stop doing it and then see their reactions? If your research project just doesn't lead to anything, maybe it's the best point to look for a new job or for a new research project. So let me summarize. We feel motivated if all of these factors come together. If we have the feeling that it's the right thing, if it feels good to do so, and if we have the ability, or if we believe that we have the ability to do so. If one of these things or several of them are lacking, then we might lose motivation. And the strategy to overcome this is try to restore this factor. Understand why you're not motivated, understand which of these factors it is, and then think of strategies how you can re-establish that, or how you can learn this thing, how you can feel better about it, how you can find a good reason to accomplish your task. If you liked this video, please don't forget to click on the like button and share it.